This summer I had a big moment at Worlds. We go into the warm-up venue and there's no space. The ceilings feel really small and it's really dark and there's only so many lanes to warm up and warm down, and I had to take a lot of deep breaths and remind myself, okay, we're going to make it work.
Welcome to Champions Mojo Weekly Podcast, where your hosts Kelly Pallas and Maria Parker share with you what it takes to be a champion. Kelly is a former Division I head swim coach, Olympic trials qualifier, and holds Masters World and National swimming records. And Maria holds world records in endurance cycling and was the overall women's winner of the world's toughest bike race, Race Across America. They'll be sharing their personal stories and wisdom, along with interviewing other champions to give you the tools you need for becoming a true champion in your own life. And now, your host, Kelly Pallas.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the Champions Mojo podcast, where today I'm really looking forward to talking with Kelsi Dahlia, an Olympic gold medalist in the 2016 Olympics and professional swimmer for the pro swim team, the Cali Condors. She is also sponsored by TIER. Kelsi is a butterfly and freestyle specialist, was the first woman in history to swim the 100-yard butterfly in under 50 seconds. She is also a world and American record holder and a multiple-time NCAA All-American and national champion for the University of Louisville. We caught up with Kelsi at the International Swim League Championship Final in Las Vegas and are so thrilled to chat with her. But first, I want to say hello to my co-host, Maria Parker. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Kelly. Yes, I'm really excited to talk with Kelsi. She is fresh off being part of the world record-breaking 4x100 medley relay this past summer at the 2019 World Championships, splitting a lifetime best 56-1600 fly to help the USA break their own world record by over a second. Besides being a swimming champion, Kelsi's had lots of changes in her life, including a new marriage, new home, a puppy, and I've learned that Kelsi loves to bake for her friends and enjoys knitting, so I'm really excited to get to Kelsi's interview. Let's get to it.
And now it's time for the road trip segment.
And we're so glad you're here.
Yeah, so
Thanks for
Kelsi,
having
welcome
me.
to the show.
Thanks.
Well, I want to just start. I read today that you have 5 siblings. I grew up in a family of 6 kids as well.
Where are you in the
I'm
order?
3.
You're the
I'm
third.
3.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're the oldest.
I am the oldest. Oh, well, I love my family. Like, I get so full just when I get to spend time with my family, and I've had a lot of that this fall.
So catch us up kind of where you are right now, like what you're doing, what your training's like, what your life is like right now.
So, yeah, it's crazy that it's the end of the decade. It feels like Rio was just last month, and it's almost 3.5 years ago already, which is insane. But this fall, it's just been as much consistent training as I could. Said no to just about everything outside of meets, which was really hard for me.
What did you say no to? What's one thing that you would have liked to or maybe thought about doing but you had to say no to?
I really enjoy traveling and doing clinics and speaking engagements outside of Louisville. I love my city, but sometimes I get a little stir crazy. And so then at the end of this fall, I realized that it was really, really nice to be home a lot, spend a lot of time with my husband. And so I admitted to him, I said, I'm sorry, you were right. I was wrong. And so I was able to go to like 4 church services in a row, like 4 weekends in a row. And that never happens. Mm-hmm. So things like that I've been really grateful for this fall.
Mm-hmm. So you're very focused on swimming.
Yes, focused, but not overly. I have a good balance. I have Bible studies and other people to remind me of who I am outside of the sport, and that's been so important to me. So I found I had a good balance of that, and also I'm able to have some downtime at home. And traveling takes a lot out of my body physically, so being able to rest on the weekends and have time at home was really huge. But outside of that, just working really hard, training, and going to the ISL meets.
What does your typical day look like? Like, what does a day look like when you're in Louisville training?
Mm-hmm.
Louisville.
In Louisville, yeah. I wake up a little before 5, have my coffee, read a little bit, go to practice 6 to 7:30, then head over to the weight room with our strength coach. Then I get to run home, have a quick bite to eat, take a nap. Sometimes I go see the physical therapist or our athletic trainer. Then I eat lunch again, and then or eat again, and then I go back to the pool to swim in the afternoon, 2:30 to 4:30, maybe stick around a little bit, do some abs or some stretching. Then I go home, make dinner. I love the meal kits that they send to your home. So we've done HelloFresh and Every Plate, and I'm a huge fan of those. Or I'll go to Costco and do their pre-made meals, whatever it is, just for the ease. I don't enjoy grocery shop, and I have lunch for the next day also. And I'm all about leftovers, coming from a big family.
Yeah. Does your husband cook? I think I read somewhere that he said he was interested in cooking or something.
He's pretty good. We make a really great team. I really love cooking together. Mm-hmm. He loves to do all the prep work, so all the chopping and things like that. And then I do the cooking on the stove and stuff. So I enjoy cooking together.
Do you have any special diet that you follow?
No, I don't.
Just eat whatever you want. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
It's hard for me to say no to the sweets and stuff. Oh. I definitely have a sweet tooth.
Yeah, me too.
I always finish the day with some sort of like chocolate. Not like a huge amount, but.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Cookies and cream.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
So you've already had tremendous success. What are you hoping for going forward?
I just want to enjoy each meet at a time and enjoy the process. To be honest, this has been the hardest fall that I've had. I think I'm starting to get excited for life after swimming, and I haven't decided how long I'm going to swim. I'm really taking it 1 year at a time at this point, but like all my friends are having kids, and I'm really excited for that whenever that happens. So I just want to enjoy the process, and I'm really grateful from my coaches who really push me, and my teammates who are there and really encouraging and positive. But I want to try to get better, and that hasn't happened the last couple seasons. So figuring out what it is I need to do to get better, and I'm looking for that, I guess.
So you're an Olympic gold medalist. You've won Olympic gold. What did that feel like? How did that change your life, or how did it make you feel? You know, we all grow up as little swimmers. I want to go to the Olympics, but then to win Olympic gold. I mean, tell us how that feeling is.
Definitely didn't happen the way that I expected it to. I went into it ranked, I think, top 3 in the world going into the Olympics, and then semifinals I finished 9th by 0.04, and that really stung. That really, really stung, and going down to the warm-down pool, trying not to cry and bring negativity to the team area. We were already doing so well. Coach Arthur was there, and he was able to hug me and just didn't really have the words to say. I prepared as well as I thought I could and did what I needed to do, but it wasn't enough. So I didn't get a chance to earn a spot on the podium, but because Team USA has so much depth, I was given another chance to swim, put on my USA cap on the medley relay as part of the prelims relay. And so I was in the stands when I won my gold medal, which was not how I expected my Olympic experience to go. So that has really kept me hungry going forward. And I remember I really, really struggled with thinking that I didn't earn the medal because I was on the prelims. I felt when I came back that people that I was acquaintances with only wanted to see me because of the medal, that they didn't really care about me. And so that took a while to work through that. And people that knew of the medal but didn't really follow asked, how was it on the podium with the national anthem? And I was just really a little spiteful at that point. And I remember I had a clinic not too long ago, actually with Jason Lezak, which is really cool now. He's my general manager. And I was sharing with him my struggles and going through all the feelings. And he said, you just have to get over that. You just have to get over it. I said, okay, Jason Lezak's telling me to get over it, so that's what I need to do. And he said he went through the same thing. He's been on the finals relay, and he's also been on the prelims relay too, and was reminding me of how valuable prelim relay swimmers are, and that when people would ask him those same questions, he kind of would lie sometimes and just say, it was great. It was really special standing on the podium, hearing the national anthem. And the national anthem does mean a lot more to me now, even from the stands. Still an emotional experience, but I was handed my gold medal the next day. It just said, here you go. And wasn't any fanfare, wasn't any ceremony. So my Olympic experience wasn't how I expected it to go at all. I'm so grateful for it, and I learned so much from it. And there's been a lot of sweet moments since then that I've meant even more because of that.
You've been extremely successful. What has made you the success that you are? What do you think? If you're encouraging somebody, what would you say?
Well, I have to give God the glory for this because there's so many people I practice with, and we all work so hard, but he's given me this gift of swimming, and I like to think that I put in some work too, but he's given me the talent and has provided these opportunities and things like that. So he's given me so many gifts through the sport, but there's so much that goes through it when it comes to working every day, being consistent. I think that's one thing I do well is being consistent from the start of practice to the end. And when it comes to my lifting and doing everything I need to in the weight room, I don't think I'm the greatest when it comes to when I eat, but and I think that's still something I can improve upon, but I think I've gotten a lot better over the years, and I think I have a great support system as well. It's not just me. My husband's been amazing, especially this fall when I've struggled a little bit more than other years, and Arthur and our whole coaching staff, Stephanie, Chris, Lad, Cameron, and all the athletic trainers we've had. I've never had something serious with my shoulders, but they're always hurting. I always want to chop them off.
Oh, God, they're always hurting?
Just about always. Just the overuse of my
ice?
shoulders. Occasionally, yeah. I have a big ice pack at home. I'll sit on my couch in Normatec and ice my shoulders while I'm reading or something.
I want to talk about that a little bit more because I don't think people appreciate that. I mean, it's so beautiful watching you swim, but you've been doing this for years now, and they're always hurting.
Mm-hmm. It affects how I sleep, everything I do. They just ache, and it's painful. But there's nothing diagnosed. I don't have like a tear or anything, which I'm extremely grateful for. And I think sometimes I might complain a little bit too much out of it, but I still do the work that I need to do despite it. And I have great physical therapy sponsor that I work with every week in Louisville, Pro Rehab, go to see them every week, and great massage therapists, and do everything I can with all the resources I can, but they just really hurt.
So obviously you've been through some tough times with any athlete that gets to the Olympics is working through a lot of stuff. So what would you say your mindset is when you're going through something tough? Like what mindset do you get into?
Try to be grateful. I have so much to be grateful for, and going to work every day in quotes with some of my best friends and the most amazing people is what really just keeps motivating me. And yeah, I don't have to do a normal job because swimming has just been a blast. And originally I was planning on going to physical therapy school. That was really my plan till my junior year of college when I got a whole lot better and made the national team, and a lot of doors open through all those experiences. So I just want to be grateful for the sport and what I have.
What, on a daily basis, do you have any routines or rituals or things that are kind of you're known for or that you think help you perform better?
Well, in lines of the gratitude, I read some scripture in the morning and listen to worship music on the way to practice. And that just puts my heart in the right attitude. And but rituals outside of that.
Sleeping, drinking, eating, obviously prayer is one, but any other routines that you do, like you wake up at a certain time, or you always have to go to sleep, or you always have to, walk the dog at 4:00 or anything like that?
I'm not too ritualistic in that aspect or superstitious or things. I do always wear my red Converse to finals.
Oh, there you go. Here we go.
Red Converse.
I do always. And but I do carry my water bottle everywhere I go, making sure I'm always hydrated.
That's a good one.
That's important for me, is always staying hydrated. And I like to get my snuggles in with my dog, Kiwi. She's super soft and really sweet, and she's a cuddler.
Dogs are so great for that.
How long have you been married?
a little over 2 years now. So, but almost together for 7 years. So my husband and I met my freshman year of college and started dating, and it's been great. He was also a swimmer. He's now a swammer.
Yeah.
What's a
A
swimmer?
swimmer. It's the past tense of a swimmer.
Does he still swim?
He doesn't. He does CrossFit. And I have mixed feelings about CrossFit, but I did admit to him that I'll probably do it when I'm done swimming. And
Why do you have mixed feelings? You think it's...
I just think that CrossFitters cut corners just to do things as quickly as possible.
Oh, right.
And I like to do everything like,
By the book.
but yes, I'm type A in that way. Like I need to do
Tell me the rules and I'll follow
every
them.
art of practice. Yes, tell me exactly how we need to do it. And if practice finishes on a 5,900, I'll round it up to 6,000.
I like it.
Sometimes I'll also round down. I have admitted to doing that. I'm like 5,000 is a better number than 5,200. So
If you lose track of a set and you're not sure if you're on 8 or 9, do you count 9 or do you go back to 8?
I don't really go back to 8.
Yeah, I think that's...
I think that's a mark of a champion right there.
And that's the perfect lead into another question, which is, what traits do you think champions share?
That's a really good question. I think the focus is really huge, especially at meets like this when there's just chaos and every meet goes so quickly and the venues change so drastically, but having that focus. And also I'm really, really learning on having the flexibility aspect. I tend to get a little overwhelmed, especially this summer. I had a big moment at Worlds. We go into the warm-up venue and there's no space. The ceilings feel really small and it's really dark and there's only so many lanes to warm up and warm down. And I had to take a lot of deep breaths and remind myself, okay, we're going to make it work. We might have to stretch over here where there's a little more space. And so I did that at US Open a few weeks ago, and there's 1,300 swimmers. So I sat in the hallway instead. I'm like, it's dry here. There's a place to sit. Just do what I've learned that I need to do, and have that flexibility aspect of that, which I'm still definitely working on. And I think, just relying on the people that you have around you. I don't know if there's a word for that, but
Trust, I think, is...
oh, absolutely.
Trust.
I think trusting in my coaches has been huge, that they know what they're doing, that we put in the work together, and relying on our taper that we do or whatever that is so important in my journey.
That's awesome. So we're sitting here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the finals of the ISL. And I know tomorrow you have the 100 Flies, the very first opening event, right? So tell us your thoughts on the ISL, how it's been, and being a pro swimmer just in general, ISL.
Well, the ISL's been a blast. I've really enjoyed the meets. I think it's just really fun going to a 2-session meet and having only 2 hours each time. And it's fun.
So that's just for non-swimmers. That's shorter than a typical swim meet.
Much shorter compared to the Olympics is an 8-day meet,
Right.
2 sessions every day.
Right.
Here we're 2 days, 1 session a day, and it's for a team. And a lot of people internationally have never swam on a team like we have here. They've swum for their countries, but there's still a lot more individual focus. And in the U.S., we have college swimming, and I've been removed from that for almost 4 years. So getting to swim for a team again just has been so much fun. And the fact that every race is really determines if it's win or lose, we get score points. And yes, there's some money involved, which is fun too. We have to make a living out of this as well. But swimming for a team and fighting on relays together, there's just something so special about that.
And what are your thoughts in general on just professional swimming as a career?
This ISL league has opened up so many doors for people, just being able to swim longer. And I had an event a couple summers ago with Mary T. Maher, who's a Louisville native, and I can't remember how many years apart we are, but she's just so amazed and so encouraged by the longevity of swimmers' careers now that she stopped swimming at such a young age, so early 20s. I don't know if she swam that long. And
Yeah, that used to be considered old, right?
Right.
Now you're 25 and you're right in the
Right.
prime of it.
And it's so exciting that people can make a living and make a good living through the sport of swimming. And so, yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and you have several sponsors, right? I know you just mentioned one of them, your physical therapist. And so it's not just ISL that's giving swimmers income, but there are some other ways that you guys can make money too, right? Like, do you do any of the other FINA World Stops?
I've done the World Cup a couple years. I really enjoy the European legs of the meet. I love Europe a lot. And I did the FINA Champion Series this past spring, which was really great as well. Just doesn't fit into my training schedule this upcoming year. But yeah, just having other sponsors that see the value in swimmers and want to come alongside us and support us. Louisville is amazing in that. Had some great people come alongside and support me through my career, which I'm really grateful for.
So we're about a few days away from 2020. And what does January 2020 feel like to you? When you think, oh my gosh, it's going to be 2020. What are your thoughts when you think of that?
Oh my goodness. I enjoy every new year, the start of every new year. And I think it's come so fast. It's a little scary just knowing that we're coming towards the next Olympics, but I'm excited for it too.
Do you get nervous when you think about that?
Oh yeah.
Is that a good thing for you? I mean, do you like that energy that comes from that, or is it something that you have to really tamp down?
I have to tamp it down. I think if I let my adrenaline come out too soon, then it won't come when I need it to. So leading into 2016, I baked a lot. I love to bake, so that's what I did a lot then. And I baked them for all the stuff for my Bible studies. That way I wasn't gaining all this weight.
What do you like to bake?
Cookies,
banana bread,
muffins, cupcakes. I love banana bread too. I love cooking. But I make them muffins, that way I can share them a little easier. I'll bring them to my coaches and make brownies almost every week for my community group. And
so you're gonna do that in 2020?
Probably. I also used to knit a lot, and I just picked up knitting again. I don't know when this comes out. Hopefully not before Christmas, because I knitted my sister an infinity
No, it's not
scarf.
good. It's not going to be before Christmas. So,
Surprise!
like knitting needles, not crocheting, knitting.
Knitting.
So baking and knitting to sort of keep you from getting too wound up about 2020.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
I got it. So I just want to ask this. So it sounds like you're looking forward to having a family, because you came from a big family.
It's not a secret. Yes.
Yeah. So after you went and get on the podium in the Olympics, or whatever happens, what do you hope for your career? Will it be swimming related beyond when you're actually maybe competitively swimming?
I've thought a lot about that the last 3 years. I really don't think physical therapy school is the way for me anymore. But
that's the beauty of being 25. You know more about yourself.
It is. Yeah, I'm grateful too. And I also know now that I've had the experience with swimming, and I've had 4 years of not having to go to a 9-to-5 job, and I've really enjoyed that. So I want to keep something flexible like that. So I do want to stay involved in the swimming world, doing clinics, and we have a swim labs, Safe Splash Swim School in town that Arthur and his wife Amy own. So I would stay involved in that in some capacity, but I also want to be more involved in my church, maybe do some sort of sports ministry. Now I go to different schools during the year that have Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So I share my testimony, or I just share an encouraging word that the kids can apply to their sport or school, whatever they're doing. So I'm not really sure exactly. I do enjoy speaking, so I'd like to get a lot better at speaking and improve my public speaking.
Sounds like you love to travel too.
I do enjoy traveling, and so I'd like to do some more of that. I have a bucket list of things in my head that I want to do before, I guess, like settle down and whatever is next in my career, whenever my swimming career ends. So that includes a ski trip. I haven't been skiing probably since I was in like first or second grade. So I want to go skiing. I'm not sure the location yet either, but it's kind of like an open invitation, really. Whoever wants to come.
Are there other sports you want to do other than skiing?
Not really, but I just think it would be fun. One of my best friends goes skiing every Christmas now that she's done, and I'm a little bit jealous. So she's kind of my inspiration for that. And I have a few other places I want to visit. Go back to a lot of the places I've been for swimming. Go with my husband, and he loves to travel too. I love to travel with him, so looking forward to all those adventures.
Ask you about this because I read or heard in an interview that before you got married, you sort of stayed out of the weight room so that, I guess, tell me about that.
I didn't want to look too manly in my wedding dress.
You couldn't look manly.
You couldn't look
People
manly.
who
You're
can't
very
see it, you are
feminine.
incredibly feminine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you were worried about having big shoulders?
Yes, I was. I didn't want my arms to look too big, so I self-tapered in the weight room.
Well, it was after you kind of had a swimming break, didn't you? Like,
A little bit. It was in October, and it was
Okay.
after
Okay.
Worlds in
Yeah.
Budapest, so I still swam through that, but we did go on a month-long honeymoon after that. So I came back and I asked some of my teammates, and they said I didn't look out of shape. I just didn't look as jacked as I normally do.
So one of the things to be grateful for is your beautiful physique, right? Your strong shoulders.
Yeah, I am a little bit worried what I'm going to do when I'm done swimming, because I don't really enjoy lifting. I don't love being sore. So I think I'll get more involved in yoga and something like that.
I love yoga. You'll love it.
What's your favorite thing about swimming?
My favorite thing has been the friendships and the travel that I've got to do. And I met the most amazing people, and I know I'll stay in touch with people forever. And so that's been the best part of it.
Do you think it's possible for women to compete against each other and still have friendships?
I think it's tricky, but it is possible. I love Mallory, my teammate. We've kind of been unofficial roommates this year at all of these ISL meets and US Open, and so I so admire her. She works so hard and just has such a mature head on her shoulders. Just even since she was a freshman, she's been so mature and handled everything so well. But I think we have to, as women, be able to support one another, especially in sport. And I think it is definitely tricky when I think it would be different because Mallory and I spend so much time together. We do get to know each other outside of the pool, and I think that's important as well, is to get to know each other outside of the pool. And that's what ISL has done a lot. We get to travel as a team. We spent a week together before the meet in Italy, and just getting to know each other as people, and that's been such a blast over the last few years, especially Team USA, going on our training trips. I mean, before the Olympics, I was doing puzzles with Katie Ledecky and doing all these fun things that were like, okay, we're people, we're humans, and yes, we're incredible athletes, we're competing against each other, but I love seeing other women succeed.
That's great. Beautiful.
That's a great answer.
Is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like to say to people listening?
Oh, I don't think so. I'm grateful for you guys and your platform with sharing what everyone's done in the swimming community, and grateful that you asked me to be a part of it. It's been really special.
Thank you. We really,
You have such, I just want to say this, you have such a, I don't want to diminish it by saying sweet, but you have such a beautiful, sweet aura. You know, the people who aren't in the room, you know, with you, you obviously very kind, and I mean, I think sometimes you're so tough in the water.
So tough.
Yeah, and then you're this incredibly beautiful, gentle person.
Do you think that some of that comes from your faith?
I do. Yeah, I'm grateful for my parents that we grew up in a Christian home, and and even going to University of Louisville, that was one of the things I looked for, was looking for people to hold me accountable in my faith and to grow in my faith as well. So FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, has been a big part of my walk. Our chaplain at Louisville was our wedding officiant, and still really involved in that ministry. And so, yeah, definitely so much of it is Jesus.
Great. Okay, now the fun stuff.
Take your mark.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate with peanut butter.
Oh, yummy.
Is that option C?
Yeah, that's a good
That's
one.
a good answer.
Camping or hotel?
Ooh, hotel.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Morning. Burger or a chicken sandwich?
Burger.
Burger. Fingernail polish or no fingernail polish?
Fingernail polish.
Texting or talking?
Calling. Yeah, calling.
Talking. Live talking.
Yes,
I love it.
yes.
Okay. All right. So,
Great.
yeah, so that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Kelsey.
so much
We
for
really
taking
appreciate it and
us.
wish you all the best. We will definitely be cheering for you.
Yeah,
Thank
looking
you.
forward to seeing you swim
I
tomorrow.
appreciate it. Love talking with you guys.
Thank you very much.
Well, Maria, you know that we named this show Strength and Softness. And since recording that introduction and interviewing Kelsey, we said we were in Las Vegas, which we still are. Kelsey won her first event. Today we're going into the second day of the meet, but her first event, first out of the blocks, she wins the International Swimming League's final championships in the 100-meter butterfly. First place in the world. I call this the Super Bowl of swimming. So she beats everybody in there, and I will say that the defending Olympic champion and world record holder Sarah Soetstrom was in the heat, and Kelsey won. So Kelsey is so strong, and I think one of the things that we really noticed about Kelsey is she's such a strong swimmer. I think she even called herself a beast in the pool, but she really is so competitive and strong, and just when the gun goes off, she is a different person than this very sweet, soft person that we interviewed.
Yeah,
And-
it was really fun talking to her because we knew going into the interview, of course, that she was just an incredible stud in the pool. She just, she's a butterflyer.
Yeah.
But then as we're chatting with her, we were both impressed about just the kindness of her aura, the gentleness of her personality.
And her humility.
And her humility.
Yeah, just so humble and kind. And, we're going to do a couple of takeaways. And my first one, and I think, what she refers to as probably one of the bigger obstacles that she's had to overcome in her life was, when she went into the 2016 Olympics and she had one of the top 3 times in the world, and she failed to make the final out of the semifinal, which was, obviously tough on her. But the thing that the takeaway for me there is that failure, she said, has made her hungry. Yeah. So I just, we see that theme through a lot of the champions that we interview, that failure is, if you learn from it,
right,
or if it makes you hungry, or if it makes you change the way you do something, that it can really be a good thing sometimes.
Absolutely. I think we've talked about this before, but you learn much more from failure than you do from success.
Yeah.
I wish it weren't that way.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yes. So what was your first takeaway?
Well, I don't know if it's the most important thing, but it really struck me that when I asked her about nerves and anxiety and being amped up, she said that she has to help herself not get amped up too early. And so she distracts herself with baking and knitting. And I just thought that was really great, because I think we often talk about being focused and not being distracted from what we're doing, but I think there is a time for distraction in order to control your energy and your mental status. And so she's got a big 2020 coming, and she said for Rio in 2016 she did a lot of baking, and she's planning on doing a lot of baking in early 2020, and she's also knitting, and those things calm her and keep her energy at the right level. We know she can win and get the energy up when she needs to, but I think for me that was a really interesting takeaway and a good takeaway. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a kind of a tool of champions, that they know what they need. She was aware, I do get amped up and I'm going to calm it down a little bit. So I think that's a really good takeaway that we can all use. So my second takeaway was, we talked about I believe it's the swimming podcast right before this, we talked with Natalie Coughlin about her being so competitive.
Yes.
And obviously people swimming and competing at this level they're competitive.
That's right. And it's great.
Yeah, it's great. But sometimes when we're competitive, it's hard to be friends with our competitors.
Right.
And, one of the things we want to do on this podcast is, we want to promote love in the world. And
Well, friendships are so important.
yeah, friendships are so important. So we asked Kelsi, do you think women can be competitive and still be friends? Because, we're just talking from a woman's perspective, and maybe it's probably the same with guys. So it could apply to both. But I loved that she said, yeah, when we're in the pool, we're competitive, but I can still be friends with people once I just get to know them outside of the pool.
Yes.
And she used the example of playing cards with Katie Ledecky. That
doing a puzzle or
something.
Yeah.
But just getting to know people outside of the pool, or then like we always like to transfer this in life, that maybe you have someone in your life that you're competing against for something, or you feel some angst, just some tension together. I really have found, in my life, just finding something else about that person out that, either may be a commonality, or that, they're pretty cool. They,
You have to see their
ride
humanity.
bikes, or you see their. So I really liked that answer. That was my second takeaway. What was your second takeaway?
I really like that answer too. First, I would just say, because I think, as we said, friendship is important, and there's nothing wrong with being competitive. I think sometimes for me, and maybe for other women, I maybe grew up with this idea that being competitive wasn't feminine, and that's totally wrong.
Right,
I can
right.
be a super duper competitor, but that doesn't mean, as you said, that we can't be friends with our competitors. And it's an interesting, and I think Kelsi walks that line really, really well. She obviously loves the people that she hangs out with and swims with and competes against.
Yes,
So
yes.
So knowing the humanity of your competitor is really important. My second takeaway, and I think Kelsi talked about it again and again, the importance of having family and friends and a loving, spiritual, for her, a very strong spiritual base. That she knows who she is. And, that's really important. Whether she's swimming or doing something else, she knows who she is, and her family and her husband and her friends and her faith help her know who she is outside of being this incredibly powerful athlete. So I thought that was a great takeaway. And then we also mentioned...
Wait, before you go moving off that
Yeah.
one, because we can touch on something else too, because there was plenty there, but we try to stick to two. One of the things that I think she said in conjunction with her faith and her family and her community and her church, she liked to bake for them.
That's right.
That was your first takeaway, which was, hey, distract yourself, know what you need to calm yourself, get yourself into the right state, whether
Right.
that's bring yourself up, bring yourself down. But that she had balance in her life. And when I asked her the question about balance, she said, well, yeah, I go to Bible study.
That's right.
And I think, so I like
Yeah,
that.
we asked her, are you extremely focused? She said yes, but
I
I'm
have
also
balance.
balanced.
Yeah, so I thought
That is good.
having those things, the family and
Helps.
community, keeps her in perspective of balance. And I think, again, I always try to equate this to just not just swimming, but anything you're doing in life. If you're really just going for it for a job promotion, or a goal that you have, that if you balance it out, I think that's very healthy.
Yeah, I think we talk about that frequently. Focus is important, but you cannot maintain 100% focus. And the last thing that I just remembered was she talked about flexibility. So if you're thinking that something's going to be one way and it's another way, and she gave the example of coming to a meet where it was super crowded and she couldn't go through her typical routine in the typical way that she might have, she had to remind herself that she had to remain flexible and find a way to do what she needed to do to prepare for the meet. So she seems to know herself pretty well, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think she's definitely, obviously, a champion, obviously an Olympic gold medalist.
Right.
But so there's a lot in there, but we just like to give that summary. So wonderful. Well, it was a real pleasure, and now we need to get ourselves over to the pool.
That's right.
Because we got the finals today
That's right.
of the second half of the ISL meet in Las Vegas. So
That's right.
Great, Maria.
Loved it.
Loved it. Loved you. And
Love you
we'll
too,
see
Kelly.
you on the next one.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
This week's quote of the week comes to us from Henry Ward Beecher. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul.
We are so grateful that you spent this time with us today, and we hope that you heard something that inspired, motivated, and educated you. Signing off for myself and my champion co-host, Maria Parker, we hope you'll join us again soon, and we know you can be a champion. Thank you for listening, and please see below for a copy of the show notes for any links or important information that we've referenced here.
You've been listening to the Champions Mojo podcast, designed to make you feel inspired, motivated, and educated. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. Also visit championsmojo.com to learn more.